Hi, welcome to the quiz. You can answer along on quizalto.com, all for free. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started, good luck. Which AWS Cost Explorer feature helps you understand cost trends over time? Cost Optimizer, Cost Trends, Cost Allocator, Cost Predictor. The Cost Trends feature in AWS Cost Explorer allows you to visualize and analyze how your AWS costs have changed over time, helping you identify patterns and make informed decisions. What does the average daily cost metric in AWS Cost Explorer provide? The median cost per day. The mean cost per day in a period. The lowest daily cost. The highest daily cost. Average daily cost in AWS Cost Explorer calculates the mean cost per day over a selected period, giving you a sense of your typical daily AWS expenses. Which AWS Cost Explorer feature helps you understand costs over custom time ranges? Predefined date ranges. Date range presets. Custom date ranges. Time period selection. AWS Cost Explorer allows you to set custom date ranges, enabling you to analyze costs over any specific time period that suits your needs. What does the usage type group filter in AWS Cost Explorer help with? Breaking down costs by specific resource attributes. Sorting costs by account. Filtering costs by AWS service. Grouping costs by region. The usage type group filter in AWS Cost Explorer allows you to break down costs by specific attributes like instance type or storage class, offering deeper cost insights. Which AWS Cost Explorer feature helps you identify cost-saving opportunities across accounts? Organization view. Cross-account recommendations. Linked account view. Account groups. Cross-account recommendations in AWS Cost Explorer analyze usage across all linked accounts to identify global cost-saving opportunities like consolidated RI purchases. Which AWS Cost Explorer report is most useful for understanding reserved instance savings? RI recommendations. RI coverage. RI utilization. RI expiration. The RI coverage report in AWS Cost Explorer shows how much of your instance usage is covered by reserved instances, indicating potential savings compared to on-demand pricing. In AWS Cost Explorer, which view helps you track costs for serverless applications? Service view, Lambda and others. Region view. Resource view. Account view. Using the service view in AWS Cost Explorer and focusing on services like Lambda, API Gateway, and DynamoDB helps track costs for serverless applications. In AWS Cost Explorer, what does usage quantity represent? The amount of a resource used. The cost of a resource. The type of resource used. The region of the resource. Usage quantity in AWS Cost Explorer shows the actual amount of a resource used, like GB for storage or hours for compute, helping you understand consumption patterns. Which AWS Cost Explorer view is most useful for comparing costs across different AWS services? Region view, service view, account view, tag view. The service view in AWS Cost Explorer breaks down your costs by individual AWS services, making it easy to compare expenses across different services like EC2, S3, or RDS. What does the RI Recommendations report in AWS Cost Explorer provide? Analysis of current RI usage. Comparison of RI versus on-demand costs. Alerts for expiring RIs. Suggestions for RI purchases. The RI Recommendations report in AWS Cost Explorer analyzes your usage patterns and suggests optimal reserved instance purchases to maximize cost savings. Which AWS Cost Explorer feature helps you identify idle or underutilized resources? Savings plans eligibility. Cost anomaly detection. Right-sizing recommendations. Reservation expiration alerts. Right-sizing recommendations in AWS Cost Explorer analyze your resource usage patterns to identify instances that are idle or underutilized, suggesting changes to optimize costs. Which AWS Cost Explorer feature helps you identify unusual spending patterns? Cost trends. Cost forecast. Cost anomaly detection. Cost variance. Cost anomaly detection in AWS Cost Explorer uses machine learning to identify unusual spending patterns or spikes, alerting you to potential issues or unexpected costs. Which AWS Cost Explorer feature helps you understand costs during special events? Cost forecast. Usage type groups. Cost anomaly detection. Custom date ranges. Setting custom date ranges in AWS Cost Explorer around special events like sales or launches helps you understand their impact on AWS costs. What does the Savings Plan Utilization report in AWS Cost Explorer show? How much you've saved with savings plans. How effectively you're using savings plans. Available savings plan options. When savings plans will expire. The Savings Plan Utilization report in AWS Cost Explorer displays how effectively you're using your committed savings plans across eligible services. Which AWS Cost Explorer feature suggests moving infrequently accessed data? Cost anomaly detection. Right-sizing recommendations. Usage type groups. Cost categories. Right-sizing recommendations in AWS Cost Explorer may suggest moving infrequently accessed data from standard S3 to lower-cost tiers like S3 Standard IA or Glacier. In AWS Cost Explorer, what does the unblended cost metric represent? The cost after applying all discounts. The actual cost incurred without any discounts. The cost excluding taxes. The cost including only reserved instances. Unblended cost in AWS Cost Explorer shows the actual amount you've been charged for AWS services without applying any discounts like reserved instance or savings plans benefits. What does the daily unblended cost view in AWS Cost Explorer provide? A yearly overview of your AWS costs. A day-by-day breakdown of your AWS costs. An hourly breakdown of your AWS costs. A monthly summary of your AWS costs. The daily unblended cost view in AWS Cost Explorer offers a granular, day-by-day breakdown of your AWS expenses, helping you spot daily fluctuations or trends. Which AWS Cost Explorer report is most useful for comparing RI coverage across services? RI recommendations. RI coverage by service. RI expiration. RI utilization. The RI coverage by service report in AWS Cost Explorer shows how much of each service's usage is covered by reserved instances, allowing cross-service comparisons. Which AWS Cost Explorer feature helps analyze costs for multi-region applications? Account view. Resource view. Region view. Service view. The region view in AWS Cost Explorer breaks down costs by AWS region, essential for understanding expenses in multi-region application deployments. Which AWS Cost Explorer view is most helpful for tracking costs by project or department? Region view. Service view. Tag view. Account view. The tag view in AWS Cost Explorer lets you analyze costs based on tags you've assigned to resources, making it easy to track expenses by project, department, or any custom category. Which AWS Cost Explorer feature suggests cost-saving opportunities? Cost anomaly detection. Savings plans. Resource optimization. Budget alerts. The Savings Plans feature in AWS Cost Explorer analyzes your usage and suggests purchasing savings plans to reduce costs for services like EC2, Fargate, and Lambda. In AWS Cost Explorer, which feature helps you understand costs by AWS region? Region view. Service view. Account view. Tag view. The region view in AWS Cost Explorer breaks down your costs by AWS region, helping you understand where your resources are deployed and the associated costs. Which AWS Cost Explorer feature helps you understand the impact of free tier usage? Tag view. Cost categories. Service view. Usage type group, free tier. Using the usage type group filter in AWS Cost Explorer and selecting free tier helps you understand which services you're using within the free tier and their potential future cost. What does the public on-demand cost in AWS Cost Explorer represent? The cost of data transfer out. The cost of public IP addresses. The cost if all usage was on demand. The cost of marketplace products. Public on-demand cost in AWS Cost Explorer shows what you would have paid if all your usage was billed at public on-demand rates, highlighting potential savings. What does the effective reserved instance cost in AWS Cost Explorer show? The actual cost of your RIs in use. The cost if all usage was RI. The list price of your RIs. The savings from using RIs. Effective reserved instance cost in AWS Cost Explorer displays the actual amount you're paying for your reserved instances that are currently in use. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.